If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you have definitely heard me encourage you to book a discovery call with me quite a number of times. And if you're new to the podcast, well, you may be wondering, well, why exactly should you book a discovery call with me? And more importantly, when should you do so? So today I'm going to explain why a discovery call with me is not that pushy sales screening call that you're probably used to. And hopefully by the end of the episode, you'll know everything you need to know so that you can go ahead and take action and book your discovery call. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, your host and coffee aficionado. Whether your goal is to increase your side gig income or scale to six figures, you're in the right place. You will learn about the tools, actionable strategies, and tactics you can use to take back control of your time and life. I specialize in helping purpose-driven women like yourself work smarter and tap into the growth potential their business holds. So if you're ready to make a bigger impact and achieve business growth without being tied to it 24/7, then stick around. Let's dive into today's topic. So, discovery call. It's a term I know you've heard many times. Some may call it something else like a free consultation, a fitting call, or something like that. In a nutshell, it's used to figure out if a person is a good match for what we offer as online service providers. And if you've ever found yourself on one of these calls, which I'm pretty sure you probably have, you're going to totally relate to what I'm about to say. More often than not, the call ends up being less about what you need as the person who booked the call, instead of them trying to get a good understanding of that and whether or not they actually have a service that's going to help you get over that hurdle. It ends up being more about them using your words against you to try to just close the deal. But there's one thing that you need to understand about discovery calls. They're not consulting calls or an opportunity for you to pick my brain or anyone else's. For me, this is a hyper-focused call that allows me to gather information to determine the right level of service for you and make a final determination as to whether or not we're a good fit to work together at this point in your journey, or maybe we aren't. But I also want you to know up front that a discovery call with me is not a high pressure call to just close the deal. Because in order for you to get a return on the investment of working with me, you have to have been in business for at least a year and have a solid business concept. And let me explain why that's the case. I intentionally steer clear of startups because I'm all about helping purpose-driven women who are ready to take their business to the next level, which generally means hitting the six-figure mark. Now, if you're currently drowning in a sea of manual tasks, lacking the 6 core systems that every business needs, and feeling like you're chained to your inbox in the daily grind, then we probably need to talk. Now, if you want to learn more about those 6 core systems before you book your discovery call, make sure you go back and check out episode 123 of the podcast, because I give you an overall view of all 6. So let me help you understand one thing. I am not here to strong arm you or anyone else into working with me. My goal is to help you escape the daily grind of running a business. I know you want freedom to do more of what you love, like rocking the stage with paid public speaking gigs so that you can skyrocket your revenue. But in order for this to work, you have to be willing to make an investment in yourself and in your business. And that's not just money. It's also about time. I need you to trust me and my proven methods. I also need you to be able to roll up your sleeves because we have to dive in together. Active participation is the key to unlocking the success that you desire and deserve by us partnering together to shore up your back office. Now, if this resonates with you, then booking a discovery call is the first step that you need to take to break free from what's blocking your business journey. Now, when you click the link to book a call with me, you are going to have to answer a series of questions because I want to make sure that I'm the right person to help you and that this is the right time for you to try to take on this type of project. In addition to the standard contact information that you have to provide, I want to get a bird's eye view of the way your business is right now and understand what you're having difficulty with that prompted you to reach out to me at this moment. I also need some insight into your revenue levels and the frustrations that you're experiencing that you want relief from. I want to know your work style, whether you're hands-on or DIYer or like to hand things off and just be kept in the loop. But I also, again, want to know why you decided to take action now and how committed you are to the process of improving your business operations. So those questions on my intake form, they are vital to give me some insight before we even get on the call. So once you get through those questions, you get to pick a day and a time that works for both of us. And you're going to get a confirmation email from my scheduler right away. I need you to open that email and click the button to add the call to your calendar. Now, you're also going to get reminders via email via 24 hours before our call. And if you need to reschedule, there's a link in there for you to do that as well. But in addition to that, you're going to receive a separate email from me with a copy of my Biz Ops checklist. And I want you to use that to do a quick audit of your current business operations. Have that handy when we have our call, because the results are going to provide you insights into the current state of your business. And it only takes you a few minutes to do that. That's the power of checklists. So when we get on the call, I am going to ask you what your results were. This checklist is a great tool to help identify where you need to start the process. Now, time permitting between the time that you book the call and the call is supposed to happen, I'm going to do some research on your business and make some notes based on how you responded to the questions on my intake form. Then the day of the discovery call, I'm going to call you on the number that you provided. And because I respect your time, I am really going to go through a series of questions that are kind of like, I love to describe it as friendly fire style, so that I can get a better idea of your goals and learn more about challenges that you're experiencing, but in your own words. The more I can understand about your business, the more I can understand whether or not I can really help you, or if you're at a point where someone else needs to step in before we can work together. But I promise I am not going to invite you to work with me if I do not feel that you are ready. And if that's the case, I'm going to outline what I recommend for you to do right at this moment to start getting things in order. I also will not invite you to become a client if it's clear that you are not going to be able to make the investment financially, or more importantly, of the time. Why would I want to take your money and waste your time and mine if I know ahead of time you can't contribute what is needed for me to do my job? And I understand that you maybe can't afford my services right now. And then on the other hand, you might be able to afford it, but you have too many things going on in your life or in your business right now. I work with a limited number of clients at any given time, so I'm not going to put you in a slot that you're not going to be able to fulfill just because I want your money. And if it becomes evident to me during that call that your expectations aren't realistic or your goals are unattainable given the time frame that we have or we talk about, then I'm not going to suggest that we move forward right at that time. Now, we may have a conversation about your goals and your expectations. And again, if I know that we can't reach them in a reasonable time frame, I'm not going to extend the invitation for us to work together, because that's setting us both up for failure. Now, I realize my approach may be way different than what you're used to. But again, I'm known for going against the grain. That's just me. Most people use these calls to try to close the deal. But personally, I felt duped by people who convinced me to enroll in their programs and they didn't deliver. And for a while, I would not invest in the help that I needed because I was afraid of being burned again. Do you feel that way? Well, obviously, if you do, I understand. But here's the truth. You cannot move forward in your business without the help of an expert. I had to accept that fact too. And last year, I faced my fear and I paid 2 experts that I trusted to make some major changes in my business. And I am so glad that I did. Now, I'm not going to go into the entire thing today, but let me preface this by saying I made some very strategic investments. I knew what I wanted to happen in the long run, and I chose these 2 fabulous women that I trusted to help me get specific pieces of my business in order to reach my goals. Now, if you want to hear all of the details about that, make sure you check out episode 120 of the podcast. It is a lessons learned episode, and I share what I learned after launching 3 things at once. So if bad experiences are holding you back from getting the help that you need, just know that you do not have to stay stuck in the position that you're in. And just consuming content without taking action, it's not going to move the needle forward for you in your business. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with listening to podcasts, attending free webinars, downloading checklists, and gathering swipe files. But these are just things, they're tactics. It's not a strategy. Really, you need a strategy that allows you to look at your business from the 30,000 foot level, and you can't do that without help. Any tool or tactic that you use needs to fit into your overall strategy to help you reach your goals. And you need some accountability so that you actually learn and implement that strategy. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and other valuable resources. So the ultimate goal of the discovery call is to make sure, again, that I'm the right person for you because our personalities will work well together, that I have the right training and the right skills that you need to get you the desired results, and that the whole thing is a positive experience. I strongly believe that you have to have the right mindset to succeed because being an entrepreneur is hard. So while we know that sometimes things are going to fail, we also know we have to keep going. And no one can successfully navigate this journey on their own. You have to have a certain skill set, and so do I. And we also need to collaborate with others to achieve the success that we desire because we have to put our skills together to make things work. You don't know what you don't know, and no one person knows everything, which is why we need each other. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, then you know I am a no fluff type of girl. If I can help you, I will let you know up front and explain how I can do that. And if I can't, I'm going to let you know that up front too. But if I know someone else that can help you, I am more than willing to connect the 2 of you together. But if you decide to partner with me to get your back office in order, we have to have free-flowing dialogue. So we'll determine how often we will meet in advance if we decide to work together, and also identify the best way to communicate between those set calls. From the first day to the last, I have an open book approach where we create a plan and we work that plan together. And again, I only work with a limited number of clients one-on-one because this allows me to enjoy the lifestyle freedom that I desire. So whether we work together on a VIP day or on a project, I adapt the way that I work with you so that I can provide what you need, what you want, and what you respond well to. All of our brains work differently, and that's why there's no cookie cutter solution to streamlining your back office operations. Now, some people work well when I give them worksheets, but others don't. Some of my clients need daily accountability, which I can definitely provide via the Voxer walkie-talkie app. And then I have other people who just need a weekly or monthly call with me. Again, my approach is customized for you individually. And believe it or not, I can get a good feel for that in that 15-minute discovery call with you. But remember, I've also done my homework in advance, including looking at your social media accounts. So at the end of the discovery call, if I find that we're not a good fit for each other, you're still going to benefit from the chat because I'm going to point you in a direction that fits where you are right now. And again, if I know someone that's a right fit for you and can help you, I am more than willing to refer you to them. Now, if at the end of the call, I find that we're a good fit for each other and you're in the right place in your journey to benefit from a partnership, then we can move to the next step, which is a solo power assessment. That's a 2-hour recorded call that identifies areas of improvement in your business, and then I create a customized action plan to help you fill in the gaps in your back office operations. But by streamlining your workflows, optimizing your systems, you can increase your productivity and profitability. The assessment also helps identify any roadblocks or obstacles that may be holding you back from achieving your goals. But that custom action plan is like a clear roadmap that you can use to take your business to the next level and achieve the success that you've been dreaming of. Now, if you would like to learn more about that, make sure you go to theshannonbaker.com/assessment and check that out. But you can also listen to episode 127, What Happens During a Back Office Assessment, because similar to this episode, I walk you through the process of what you can expect when you book an assessment with me. Now let's talk about what happens at the end of the discovery call. Well, if after all is said and done, you need time to digest the things that we discussed, we can schedule a circle back call while we're on the phone. That phone call is a great opportunity for you to ask any additional questions you may have about the back office assessment or anything else that we discussed on the discovery call. And that's it. So I hope that this episode gives you some insight into what you can expect when, not if, you book a discovery call with me. If you clearly understand what it does and does not include, then I have definitely achieved my goal for this episode. But if you have a question that I didn't cover, please feel free to email me. My email address is in the show notes. You can also send your questions to me via DM on Instagram. I'm at @the_Shannon Baker. Now, if after this episode you feel I'm the right person for you, and this is the right time for you to move forward with streamlining your back office, then make sure you go ahead and book a discovery call today. A link to my calendar is in the show notes. Now, I hope to see your name on my calendar in the very near future. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep delivering value on this podcast every week. But remember, just consuming the content on this podcast or any other way is not enough. You need to pick one thing that I talked about today and take action on it. If it's not booking a discovery call, then go back and listen to the episode where I talk about the 6 core systems that every small business needs. But I want to thank you for joining me this week. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me and get them answered. And if you found this episode valuable, please go to ratethispodcast.com/mindyourtime and leave me a rating and review, because social proof matters. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to reach more women entrepreneurs like yourself and help you create a back office that supports your goals. And don't forget to share this episode with the amazing women in your community that you feel will benefit from this message. Send it directly to them or take a screenshot and post it in Instagram stories and tag me at @the_Shannon Baker. So that's it. But I look forward to you joining me back here next week. And until then, keep calm and streamline.